So this lesson we're going to start off with is for acoustic guitar, and specifically for those that are beginning and your experience is 0 to about a year. Now, if you're looking to play acoustic guitar and get familiar with certain chord shapes that you can use that are beneficial for acoustic guitar, and to learn strumming patterns that will help, especially during worship music, more of like CCM, which is contemporary Christian music, which is a lot of guitar driven music, then this lesson is going to be great for you, because we're going to go over a few chords that you can use and start to utilize, and a couple strumming patterns that you can start to use right away, and you'll be able to apply that to other songs as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was an example of the song that we just went over. Now, this song is called Waymaker, and this particular song only has 4 chords. That's right, you heard correctly, 4 chords. And in this case, we're going to be playing in the key of G, just like the example that I played. And we're going to use open chords. What are open chords? Open chords are guitar chords that utilize the open strings of a guitar. Now, you can't see it in this shot, but I am using a capo, and we can go over what a capo is later in depth. But basically, this is helping you play in a different key while still playing open chords. So it really just helps you play in different keys, and that's just really a short answer. We'll cover capos in a different lesson. But before we start, I want to preface that this guitar is my acoustic guitar that is tuned down a whole step. So my open E, the 6th string, which should be an open E, is actually an open D. So if you're playing along and you see my fingering might be a little different, that's because of that. So, but what you hear is going to be the same as what you're playing if you're in standard tuning. So that is an open G chord, transposed, so to speak, with the capo. So let's get into these chords. So what we're playing are 4 very common open chords. Now, what we have here is a C add 9. And the root starts on the 5th string. Now, I'll provide a PDF that you can download that will show the fingering for these chords, which will be easier to view. So this is your C add 9, which would be the 4, and then to your open G chord here. Then to a D major, to an E minor 7. So that was basically the song. Each portion of that song, you can play those 4 chords in that order. 4, 1, 5, 6. That's the number system. So if you're not familiar with the number system, be sure to look up the lesson that I created about the number system to kind of give you an introduction into what the number system is and how you can apply it to music. So that's the 4, 1, 5, 6 in the key of G. So those are your chords. Now let's talk about the right hand strumming pattern. Now, what we're doing here is what we're going to do here is we're going to take measures of rhythm to help us kind of visualize the strumming pattern, the right hand strumming pattern. So if you haven't seen or taken my beginner guitar course, I talk about rhythm, basic rhythm. So we talk about the different rhythm notes and what the duration is for each of those rhythm notes. So I'm going to say a couple of things, and maybe you might not know it yet, but you will. But what we're going to do is we're going to strum on our right hand, we're going to strum quarter notes, we're going to strum eighth notes, and just to demonstrate, to show you the possibilities of what the right hand can do, I'm going to strum in 16th note rhythm as well, which is also going to, I'm going to also demonstrate what you can do as an alternative to strum in the 16th note pattern. All right, so I'll be playing the same chords that I just showed you in quarter note form. So if the tempo is 1, 2, 3, 4, each beat you're playing a down strum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a quarter note strum, and you're strumming down for each beat. The next one is eighth note. It's an eighth note strumming pattern. Now, this particular strumming pattern, you can either strum down 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or you can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and. When it comes to actually playing these particular songs, I like to use the strumming pattern with just down strums, 1 and 2, and it just feels better in my right hand, and it doesn't feel so robotic as the up and down one. I feel like I can control the dynamics better. You can go quiet, louder. It's almost like turning the volume on your guitar, or even on your radio, right? And you can adjust that dynamic, and I feel like you can do that when you're strumming down like that. So that is quarter note and eighth note strumming patterns that are very common, that you can use almost immediately. Now the next one is 16th note 1. So the way you count 16 notes for a 4 count, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, is like this: 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So the tempo is 1, 2, 3, 4, and in between those counts, you're adding what are called subdivisions, which is the E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So it's almost like you're dividing it by fourths within each beat. Okay, so it feels like you're playing 4, and it sounds like it 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 beats within that beat, so to speak. So 1, 1, 2, It sounds like that. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and so that is the basis of this first strumming pattern. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and now that, for me, that feels a little robotic. Like I feel like it can't get dynamic with it, but you can. The only thing is that you have to emphasize certain strum up and down strokes and certain subdivisions, and this is really just for demonstration purposes. The first two strumming patterns, the quarter note and the eighth note strumming patterns, are perfect right now for you. This is just for demonstration, so eventually you can see what you can get to. So So you'll notice my hand is going 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, but it doesn't sound like that. It sounds so I'm emphasizing certain subdivisions and actually using dynamics as well, like emphasizing certain subdivisions and playing some of them quieter than the other ones. And it does take time because you do need to develop your basic rhythm, like I demonstrated. And eventually when your timing is great, because timing is so important. Doesn't matter what level of musicianship you are, your timing needs to be on point, definitely on point. So that is the lesson. And this lesson is for my beginner guitarists, and those that want to start playing like acoustic guitar specifically. I'm thinking of like worship leaders or even just a guitarist that wants to take their guitar anywhere and just play. So take those 4 chords, use them with those 2 strumming patterns, the quarter note and the eighth notes, and utilize those. And if you're starting to use a capo, you can move your capo around and play in different keys, which is really cool. But yeah, take those chords and those 2 strumming patterns and play to a metronome so that your timing is right on. All right, so that is the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next one.